Hi Pisces, this is Lunatic's Tarot, and this is a reading for anyone who identifies with the sign of Pisces during the end of May 2018. Specifically, this is a full moon reading for our full moon in Sagittarius on the 29th and 30th of the month. So this reading will be about, or will be covering, the energies leading up to that full moon and surrounding it, during it, surrounding it. So it could bleed into the time that's a little thereafter as well. So this is for Pisces moons, Pisces suns, Pisces ascendants, Pisces, if your Venus is in Pisces, any planet, your midheaven, your north node. If you resonate with Pisces for any reason, or I suppose if you are concerned about a Pisces, I don't intend the readings for cross watchers at this time. You are represented by the Ten of Cups, Pisces. That's amazing. It looks like this full moon is during this full moon, the time during and around it, you are feeling completely emotionally fulfilled. But I was going to say about cross watchers, I don't intend the readings for cross watchers, but I'm sure we all do that, or a lot of people do that. So the Ten of Cups representing you. This to me says you're in a happy home situation, maybe likely a happy family situation. This message very well could be specifically intended for someone who's in a happy marriage situation, but that could mean many things. You know, you could be married to something you're passionate about doing, an activity, work, hobby, etc. that you love to do, in a commitment with it, and it could be creating a really happy home life for you. This speaks of shared fulfillment, though. So it's emotional. You're feeling emotionally fulfilled, and you're sharing that emotional fulfillment. That's incredible, Pisces. That's lovely to see. So I would say you've recently made a commitment to something or someone, possibly to yourself. Could always be yourself instead of someone else. Or are just really celebrating a commitment of yours at this time. And then you've got two kings as what's crossing you and what's in your crowning thoughts. Crossing you is the King of Swords in the reverse. So at this time, in that emotionally fulfilled space, you are met with someone who is a cruel judge, I think. So possibly someone looking in on your happy situation and judging cruelly for reasons of jealousy. This person, it can be plotting against you. and or just someone who's just being very harsh with you. They might be openly harsh. It's someone with a rigid personality or rigid attitude at this time. Or it could be someone who's really suspicious. And the King of Wands in your crowning thoughts, what you know when your ego is quiet, this is a masculine fire energy. So possibly that you're thinking about a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Maybe someone who's sharing this emotional fulfillment with you. Yeah, it kind of looks like you've got a happy home with a fire sign that's on your mind. Someone, or if not a fire sign, someone who embodies those traits, someone bold, seemingly fearless, someone social, maybe an entrepreneur of some sort. And at the end of the month, this air sign, or if not an air sign, if not a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, someone who embodies air sign traits, possibly an ex, is sort of interfering with your happy home. And when I say air sign traits, I mean someone who maybe you had a mental connection with, someone who's a very cerebral type of person, someone intelligent, and they can use that for good or evil. And the root of the situation is success, is the Seven of Pentacles. So in the root of the situation, this is all rooted in something starting to grow. So maybe someone's interfering with your happy home life now because your family started to grow. See, I just see these two. This is you, or what's covered, the energy that's covering you, and then what's in your mind, and I see these two men with these, are there 3 kids in each? Well, there's 2 in this one and 3 in this one, but with kids around them. And I just feel like they're the same person. Like you're thinking about the person that you're sharing this home with, or maybe that you want to share this home with, but there's some air energy getting in the way. Could be 2 aspects of the same person. Or if this King of Swords in the reverse represents a cruel judge, quote unquote, it could literally mean a cruel judge that's somehow keeping your family apart. That could be a specific message for someone. But again, somehow the foundation of this situation is success, is someone's growth and success, and or someone having made an investment in something. Maybe the air sign feels like they made an investment in you and your family, and that's why they're back causing problems. In your recent past, you have new love. So yeah, maybe this relationship with this fire sign, Pisces, or this fiery energy. Who would Pisces be with? Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Maybe Sagittarius? I don't know. I'm not an astrologer by any means, but I would like to just make more and more time to learn more about it. In any case, the recent past shows the Ace of Cups, so it may be this fire sign or fiery energy is a new love of yours. Yeah, I'm just going to stick with fire sign. I'm actually getting Leo and Aries more than Sagittarius, but we'll just stick with fire sign. Yeah, I think that this is someone who's recently come into your life and sort of joined your family. And interesting. And maybe that's why the King of Swords is causing problems at the end of the month, because maybe it was not so long ago that the King of Swords energy, the air, the masculine air energy was actually part of the picture instead, and they feel they made an investment in you and your family. Now, I'm not saying that anyone's justified in anything that they're doing, but just that they feel that they're acting out of feeling that they made, that they had made an investment in you and or your family, or that future vision of one with you. And I also think that's why, the King of Wands is on your mind, is, what your thoughts are with when your ego is quiet. You're really about them. You probably truly love them, if this is, well, whatever kind of relationship it is, because we're talking about what you're thinking about when your ego is quiet, what you know when your ego is quiet. So it's like you know the good parts of them, their positive traits that are showing up here. You're sure of them. You know those parts of them already, even though this seems like it's a new love. And it looks like you all, or again, like I said, this could be you being married to a work, an activity that you're doing, and you're the entrepreneur, maybe then, with that work. And it's an activity, again, hobby, work that you've fallen in love with. That's your new love recently, and it looks like in the near future, whether this is a person that's granting you emotional fulfillment, or a work you're doing that you've fallen in love with recently, either one, it looks like in the near future, regardless of whatever this King of Swords energy is trying to do, we'll get a clarifier on that. It looks like you and that fiery energy are moving forward to attract more like minds. And yeah, this is all based on your success. So actually kind of, it sort of looks like it is sort of about a work when I look at the Seven of Pentacles like that. Like something started to grow recently for you, and so then you really fell in love with it. Like an interest in something grew, and it then became a hobby, and then you were in love with it, and now you're moving forward as an entrepreneur and attracting more like minds that are interested in the same thing in the near future, in the beginning of June. And let's see. But I see both. I see both messages. I see. In that case, I'm not sure how the King of Swords in reverse fits in as what's crossing you. Well, it's just someone, again, possibly someone judging you cruelly, as in judging your success cruelly. This choice of activity, this thing you've fallen in love with, just being jealous maybe of whether it's a relationship or an activity, either one, just being jealous of that success and of that that passion that you're feeling, and that potential that you're that's radiating off of you, that you're feeling it yourself. And it's in Aquarius, I think. So this is there's a harsh, rigid Aquarian energy near you. Watch out for anything that they might be plotting. It might just be a harsh attitude, but keep an eye. Are they just being judgmental because they're jealous, or are they, so cruel that they might actually be plotting to take some sort of action against you? Of course, you would know if your immediate reaction is, oh no, they don't have any way to affect anything in my life, then you know that. But and again, if you don't know their signs, an airy energy, someone who's a thinker, can come off as cold, especially at this time, showing up in the reverse. And it could be you. It could be you. Could be an aspect of yourself. It could always be an aspect of yourself. Maybe you're being over analytical about this new activity, this new love, whether it's a person or work. But I don't think so. If you've got some significant Aquarian in your chart and that rings true, then of course that's how this fits for you. But I don't know. It's not what's highlighted here for me. I'm staring at the King of Wands as I'm shuffling, so that's where I'm going to put that clarifier. So let's see, the Page of Pentacles is a clarifier. The Page of Pentacles, I see a student, a scholar, or someone with a message of financial security, physical security. Someone with a plan, maybe. So yeah, that's this emotional fulfillment definitely has a lot to do with the fiery energy that's on your mind, whether that's someone you're sharing your home and your fulfillment with, or whether that's you, the entrepreneur part of you, that's taking this new love that you found that is emotionally fulfilling you. It's taken this one amazing cup and turned it into these 10. And that part of you, you've got a plan to turn this into something that can provide financial security for you, physical security for you. And I think you're learning about this new love. You're learning about turning it into something that can provide that security. And you've got a plan. All the above. I think it's all the above. I didn't really need a clarifier on that. That just makes that very, very clear. So let's look at the Seven of Pentacles and the root. And then you've got the Eight of Wands in reverse on the bottom of the deck. And the bottom of the deck is what's missing from the spread, what's unseen from this situation, hidden maybe from you or someone. Could be that you're hiding it as well. So it's like what's unseen is I don't know, when I see the Eight of Wands in reverse, I think of something being slow moving. So we'll have to get a clarifier on that as well. I'm not sure. It could also be someone being restless, needing to be productive while they're waiting for something, someone waiting on something. Yeah, we will definitely get a clarifier on that, because unfortunately the first thing that came to my mind is this King of Swords that's crossing you during these 5-6 days that we're talking about. The first thing I thought was maybe they're waiting to make some kind of a move. Hopefully it's something relatively harmless if that's the case. But like I said, keep your head on a swivel. So 7 of Pentacles in your foundation is clarified by the 5 of Cups in reverse. So it's like this success came about because you decided to stop mourning something that you'd lost. Your air sign, your King of Swords, your Aquarius energy, whether it was a friend or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. These kings could be women, absolutely, that are showing up as kings because they're exercising their masculine traits. If you're a woman who's emotionally fulfilled by a hobby that you're turning into a business and you're acting as an entrepreneur, you're probably bringing a lot of your masculine traits into your entrepreneur work. And, you know, so the same with the King of Swords in reverse. This could be a woman who's showing up, whose masculine traits are showing up. So, yeah, I think you were with this Aquarius, whether it could have been the distant past. Maybe you were with them for a long time. I think you were with this Aquarius energy, this air energy, and when you decided that you had mourned the loss long enough, perhaps they were not honest with you, and that's why they're showing up in the reverse. Maybe they're not really plotting anything or even feeling harsh or cruel towards you now, but they're just showing up in the reverse because they weren't honest with you, and that's how you see them. So, and you decided to stop mourning that loss, and you became successful. So of course they're going to pop up and say, hey, how's your success going? Isn't that how that always goes? And in that case, maybe they're not planning anything. Now I'm going to get one more clarifier on the 8 of Wands in reverse. And I have the 2 of Wands showing up as the clarifier on your Knight of Wands. So you are going to be attracting more like-minded individuals, speeding toward more levels of your enlightenment, and attracting these kindred spirits with a lot of mystic energy. And and you're going to start making plans with those people, because this is plans as well. So we've got plans and plans. Plans on your mind and plans in your future. And there's powerful potential with these kindred spirits, these like minds that you're attracting, and the plans that you make with them. And you should, and I think will, bring your own original vision to the table, no matter whom you're collaborating with. And keep in mind, you can create your destiny from this space. I mean, you have the world in your hands, and it is closely tied to these like-minded individuals, whether it's family, friends, new people that you meet as a result of your new love, again, be it a person or an activity or work. And that's the reason to always bring that original vision to the table, and to never be afraid, because this type of potential that you're stepping into at the beginning of June is the type where you can again create your own destiny. And then I have destiny echoed again in your second major arcana card showing up. First one showing up upright. The Wheel of Fortune is the clarifier on this slow movement. So maybe what is unseen here is that this all seems like it's been a long time coming for you. This emotional fulfillment, this new love, these kindred spirits who are coming into your life, and maybe there has been no way for you to know for certain, but here is some clarification that it took so long because it was all in divine timing, because it all had to happen the way it did, so that it could all happen at once this way, or so that the cookie could crumble just this way, so you could meet this person, so you could meet these people just at the right moment when you're all ready to do this work together, or share this fulfillment together, build this home together, build this future together, etc. And or it can also be saying that perhaps the work, the love, the building that you're starting now, the fulfillment that you're rolling forward with now, the investment, the success, maybe there's some slow movement coming up as well. Maybe it will be a slow process. And again, know that it's divine timing at work, that it's happening in the time it must to happen the best way for everyone involved. And it absolutely could have more to do with, I'm not sure why I kept going, but we'll have this one here as well. It absolutely, this will be your bottom of the deck from this one. I've done this a couple times now. I'm sorry. That slow movement and that timing could absolutely be tangled up with the fact that your air sign, your Aquarius, King of Swords in the reverse here, someone is having trouble walking away from you in this situation. That's something that I've definitely seen before. Two parties split ways. Perhaps one was dishonest or one wronged the other, and then the wronged party becomes successful, and suddenly the dishonest party has all this trouble letting go. Well, no wonder. You picked yourself up, you stopped mourning, you became successful. Oh, you're back from outer space. It's not an uncommon tale, right? And then I would show the bottom of this deck anyway, so like I said, we'll take the Five of Pentacles since it popped up. And yeah, I think this is I think this is in reference to the King of Swords as well. I think you've got this juxtaposition of these two different worlds going on here, and that's a thing that's going unseen. You're doing so well, and they're doing so poorly. And I'm not saying to feel bad for them. But they could be poking around looking for even just a friendship or some support. They've maybe had a financial loss where you've had some successes. They're just in need of finding some good vibes. And I think this is something. This is an energy that you're moving away from. I think you're moving away from this energy in the sense that you're coming out of that energy yourself, and in the sense that if the King of Swords in reverse is showing up in that energy of loss themselves, you're also moving away from them. You're sort of have been and are trying to keep them out of sight, out of mind, I think. And your advice card, I almost think that someone else has had this already. I'm not sure. Your advice card is from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, and I'm going to read some highlighted things directly from its booklet. This is the Five of Earth, and it's showing up in reverse, so it's showing up as a blockage. So your advice is speaking to a blockage. It looks like a potential blockage. So yeah, someone else did have this already. Which sign had this? Cancer? Taurus? I can't remember exactly. One of the first, I think it was Cancer or Taurus. I've only done 5. Now watch me be wrong. So are you, a question to ask yourself at this time is, are you responding with defensive anger? So maybe, you know, don't get caught up in a defensive, angry exchange with the King of Swords in reverse if they're showing up trying to cause problems. It is time, this card is reminding you or telling you that it is time to let your conscience guide you instead of your selfish desires. Remember that your actions and choices have the power to do lasting hurt to others. So if the Aquarius, if the shadow side of Aquarius that we see showing up here and what's crossing you is actually a part of your chart and a part of you, I do know, because I'm a lunar Aquarian, I do know that that part of you could have a tendency to be a little bit harsh with your words, a little careless with your words, meaning to just have fun, be honest, make a point, meaning to just be genuine. We can be a little too careless, a little too loose with compliments, and a little too biting with jabs. So if that resonated as a part of you showing up, then do be careful about that, because your advice card is also saying to keep in mind that your words can hurt others at this time. Are you gambling with someone else's future happiness as well as your own, is a question to ask. You do have this shared fulfillment. Do not deceive yourself into believing that you are above reproach or accountability. So if this air sign that's showing up also feels wronged, maybe they wronged you, or maybe they feel wronged. If they're showing up feeling wronged, I guess the advice could be to brace yourself then for some type of confrontation about that. Don't deceive yourself into believing that you're above reproach or accountability. And I think the main thing here is this card is reminding us, is cautioning us against arrogance and pride. So things are going really well for you. You're completely emotionally fulfilled. It looks like you're sharing it with someone or someone's. You have someone or something on your mind that is a new love of yours, and it's turning into a business venture, an adventure, a learning experience. It's opening up your world and letting you see that you can make real plans for your future that are the vision that you want for yourself. You can create that. So in that space, especially if you've got an ex that might come around sniffing around your new success and or your new lover, etc., in that space you really don't want to be arrogant, you really don't want to be prideful. There's no reason to rub your success in anyone's face or flaunt it in any way. If they were thinking about causing you some type of real problems, that is a surefire way to egg them on, to encourage them, right? So understanding and consideration for others is needed at this time. So maybe they are being the shadow side of themselves. Maybe they are being cruel, rigid, harsh. Again, maybe you have reason to be suspicious of them, that they are plotting something. And you catch more flies with honey, right? You have every reason to try to be understanding and nice, just because you deserve to enjoy your emotional fulfillment. You don't need problems. You don't need to encourage them to cause you problems or make them want to be anything besides happy for you, so that they let you be, right? Okay, so I do hope that offered some clarity if that's what you were looking for. If you would like a personal reading from me, Pisces, that email address is lunaticstarot@gmail.com. I'll have information about my services and that email again in the description of the video, along with information about all of the decks. And if you're interested in expanding on this reading, extending this reading, if this is what's resonated for you, I see no reason why we can't do that. And if you're more interested in another free general reading, I will have June readings up by the end of the month, beginning of June. It will be a longer spread because it will be for the whole month, clarifiers and an advice card again, all of that. And I do feel like I'm forgetting something I was going to say, but that's okay. Please do like if it resonated with you, subscribe, share, comment. I would love to hear how it resonated more specifically. Remember that if you do subscribe, you have that option to get notifications by hitting the bell next to subscribe for the channel if you want to know when I post a new video. And otherwise, yes, again, I'll be back in June. And thank you so much for checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. And I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to do another reading for you.